Good evening. It is I, Baron von Terror, coming to you, not live again this week. I know last week we had the technical difficulties, but this time it's a very different reason. Currently expecting a little more tiny Von Terror to show up, so we're like, well, it's probably good to film it in advance, not live again, but I'll try to be in the comments so I can talk to you. But you know, if little tiny Von Terror is being born and I am not there, that reflects poorly on me. And we all want to be good people. It's not that I don't love you out there. I love you more than I love my unborn child. But I know from the film we're about to watch that morality, ethics are important, for they are the only barrier keeping us from madness. And if there is anything that can remove these barriers, surely society will fall prey to evil. And now we don't want that, do we? I like terror, not evil. There's a difference. And the terror I like, it's a specific brand. Never mind, let's not get into that. Let's talk about what we're about to watch. So last week we did Little Shop of Horrors, a movie about a plant that is deadly, causing mayhem, that was turned into a musical. And we thought, let's go 2 for 2. We bring you a tale of a devil plant, but not one that talks on its own. Oh no. We bring you one that affects your mind and makes you insane and makes you do things you've only seen in the movies, in movies like Reefer Madness. Can you handle what's about to happen? Because unlike a talking puppet plant, the plant in this movie is very real and has yet to be portrayed by a Muppet. Woo!
and all other school parent groups about the country, and you must stand united on this and stamp out this frightful assassin of our youth. You can do it by bringing about compulsory education on the subject of narcotics in general, the dread marijuana in particular. That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen, to lay the foundation for a nationwide campaign by you to demand by law such compulsory education. Because it is only through enlightenment that this scourge can be wiped out. Out of the traffic in these drugs, a lawlessness that we can scarcely estimate has grown and is now flourishing. It exists in almost every city and hamlet in the country. It might be interesting and important for you to know some of the methods used in bringing these drugs into the country, and the work of the forces of law and order, which are daily combating the traffic, always at the risk of life by their agents. This ceaseless fight against the drug traffic is directed by the Department of Narcotics, Washington. I received a letter of vital importance from a member of the Narcotics Bureau. I'm going to read this letter to you. My dear Dr. Carroll, the suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. At the outset of this letter, there is one vital fact I would like to submit. There is a powerful agency. I speak of the school parent associations of this country, which can be invaluable in stamping out this scourge. Their help, their eternal vigilance, could be the deciding factor in our fight against it. The weed marijuana is grown in every state in the Union. Recently, in the city of Brooklyn, New York, a field of marijuana was found behind a tenement court. The weed was here being cultivated, regularly stripped and dried and sold in schools and at government army posts in and around New York. The dried leaves and berries are ground up and made into cigarettes by a simple hand machine. The deadly narcotic is thus quickly and easily prepared for its market. The sale of marijuana is even more difficult to detect and halt than the traffic in drugs such as opium, morphine, and heroin. They are hidden in fake jewelry cases, in the heels of shoes, women's shoes especially, because the drugs can be secreted in false heels. Hollowed shaving brushes are another medium. Hooks with false centers are often used. Watch cases are convenient hiding places. The value of drugs thus seized is enormous. Recently, a huge supply of heroin was taken. It was concealed in an apparently harmless shipment of 35 barrels of olive oil. The deadly drug was burned in the incinerator of the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. And more vicious, more deadly, even than these soul-destroying drugs, is the menace of marijuana.
I had no idea. Okay, yes, I knew it was Reefer Madness to warn us about the evil of the devil's weed, but I did not know marijuana was this dangerous. I thought heroin and cocaine must be more dangerous. But no, the movie screen said otherwise, so we know marijuana is the most dangerous. I can only imagine. Actually, I really can only imagine. It's not something the Baron has really done that much. A little bit in Terravanian University, but it's not. I didn't go to murder people, did I? Or do I not remember? Am I in this movie? What is going to happen? Is this even happening? Am I still on my dorm floor? Do I have a paper to do? Oh, God. Woo!
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. East side, west side, and up, down and down. Rheingold extra dry beer is the beer of great renown. Friendly, fresh, Rheingold, always happily dry. The clean, clear taste you want in beer is in Rheingold Extra Dry. From Lexington to Madison and on both sides of Park, they ask for Rheingold Extra Dry before and after dark. From Coney to Connecticut on Flatbush Avenue, from Jersey scenes way out to Queens, they sing as millions do. My beer is Rheingold, a dry beer, friendly, fresh, sting, and happily dry beer. Dry means clean and it's
No doubt many of you do not believe that these things do happen, that they cannot happen to you. You may also believe that the facts have been exaggerated. Let me tell you of something that happened right here in our own city. You probably read about it in the papers. However, I'll give you the real facts behind the case. There was an apartment near one of our high schools. It was run by a woman known as May Coleman.
Hey, come on, May, get up.
What time is it?
Time to get up and give this place a going over. Looks like the Marines had landed.
Oh, that bunch last night was high enough to take over the Marines and the Navy.
You better get on the job. Some of the kids may be up this afternoon.
Oh, Jack, we can get along without dragging those young kids up here.
Oh, why don't you button up your lip? You're always squawking about something. You got more static than the radio. Oh, greetings.
Well, hello, fella. How are you?
Fine, how are you? Come in, come in. Glad to see you.
Is the name?
Should be right in. Just sit down and make yourselves comfortable.
Hey, what kind of a joint is this, Eddie?
Oh, it's all right, Gwen. See, they probably had a party last night.
Oh.
A couple of your customers, May.
Yeah? Well, they're old enough to know what they're doing. Not like those young kids you bring up here.
All right, all right. Listen, I'm gonna blow.
Where are you going?
I gotta make some deliveries, and I'll probably drop by Joe's place and bring back a couple of the kids.
Oh, I wish you'd lay off those kids.
Oh, why don't you get over that mother complex?
Oh, by the way, Ralph, I'm sort of getting a little party Saturday afternoon over at my grandmother's. You know, the place with the swimming pool? Like to come?
Thanks, Eddie. Maybe I will.
I'd sure like to have you.
Okay, I'll probably drop over.
So long, Ralph.
See you later. Hey, Ralph. Hi, kid. Fine, Jack. And you? Oh, great. Where you headed? Oh. Hey, how do you like that? That's the one I was telling you about. Very nice.
I don't know why you want to make such a fuss over that Ralph Wiley.
Oh, he's a swell swimmer. He made the freshman team that year he went to college.
Yeah, that lets him out. My dad knows his family. None of them are any good. His father and mother just got a divorce from Paris.
Yeah?
You know, Ralph runs around pretty much in his own. He's been in a couple of jams.
Well, I only kind of say hello to him. I don't go around with him.
Well, you better not. He's a little too old for us. That's what my dad said.
Hello, Mary. How are you, Bill?
How are you, Ralph?
Oh, hello, Ralph. You know my brother Jimmy, don't you?
How are you?
Swell.
I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, Jack Perry. Mary, Bill.
No.
How do you do?
Glad to know you. We're going over to Joe's place. Why don't you come along?
We have a date to play a set of doubles.
Oh, you can play anytime. Come on, we'll have some laughs.
Oh, we can't today, Ralph. Some other time.
Can I go along with you?
Sure.
Hey, I'll see you at dinner, sis.
Don't be late, Jimmy.
Hey, he ain't no paper, man.
Why, don't you know him, that hot finger's curly?
Boy, he really swings out off with a mess of jive. You want to dance?
Do I?
May's expecting us at the apartment a little later. Any new prospects?
Maybe. Oh, Jimmy, you're wonderful.
You just finding that out?
Why can't we go now?
Sure. Hey, kids, we're having a little party up at my girlfriend's apartment. Wouldn't you like to come? Oh, I'd love to. You want to come, don't you, Jimmy?
Oh, sure. Any place with you.
Well, come along. We can all go in my car.
See you later, Joe. Don.
Ah, home sweet home, the little nest, where after work a man can rest, or take a peaceful stroll outdoors, doing little simple chores.
Weed the garden, cut the grass, paint the window, fix the glass, trim the shrubbery, grind the axe. But take it easy, dear. Relax.
Oh, these little women have a way, but maybe I forgot to say, she always has my favorite brand, Carling's Black Label beer on hand. What a happy thought, hey, Mabel, a great idea, Black Label, nothing too good for good company, Carling's Black Label beer. The quality brew at the popular price, enjoy the best, take our advice, get Carling's Black Label, Carling's Black Label beer. Mabel, Black Label, Carling's Black Label beer.
Black Label beer. Beer of popular sexists everywhere. Look, as you can see, these people are up to no good recruiting the youth to be their new customers. Now, even I, as a parent, am very afraid of what's going to happen to young Jimmy. I do not trust these people. I think about my own son at home, the one who's already born, not the unborn one, which is the reason that I'm not here, even though I'm here now in, you understand how it works. Anyway, oh crap, my son is at home. Oh, someone should go check on him. Hopefully he has not fallen into evil ways. But I will stay with you for now. I'll just call him and check on him. He should be fine. He's 2.5. He knows how to, scrounge for food on the floor. Woo!
It's sweet of you to help me, Bill.
Well, I'll try anything except domestic science.
Why, Bill, don't you want to learn something about running your own home?
The answer is no. After that session we had yesterday, I went home and told Mother that the trouble with her pot roast gravy was she hadn't added 3 heaping teaspoonfuls of olive oil.
What did you say?
She didn't say anything. She just threw me out of the kitchen.
Oh, I don't wonder. Hello, children. Hello, Mother.
Hello, Mrs. Lane.
That was sweet of you, Mother.
Gosh, hot chocolate. Thanks, Mrs. Lane.
I know you can't study on empty stomachs. Now then, enjoy yourselves.
He will.
She will too, Mrs. Lane. May I?
Oh, thank you, kind sir. You're so very, very kind.
Mary, before we do that math, how about reading some of this? It's swell.
Romeo and Juliet.
Don't you like it?
Uh-huh.
When I study this, I kind of think of you. I just sort of feel as though you're there beside me. Well, listen. It is my soul that calls upon thy name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo,
My dear,
what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
by the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then.
I'll see you tonight, Mary. Bye, Mrs. Lane.
Goodbye.
Bye,
Bill.
so long. Gosh, oh! I guess I'm all right. Well, bye. Bye.
Hey, Daddy!
Oh, Julie. Hey.
Hey, Dad, you got anything for me?
Well, there should be
Don't bother your father every night.
Have you?
There you are.
What made you so late, Bill? I was getting worried.
Oh, I had to study, Ma.
He was not. I saw him out walking with this girl. Bill's got a girl. Got a girlfriend.
Ma, make him cut it out.
Junior,
Well, Bill has got a girl.
quiet. And put that candy away till after dinner. Henry, you shouldn't have given it to him.
Well, he has got a girlfriend, and her name is Mary.
Yeah, I'll shut you up.
Bill, Junior, put that cowering on. Junior!
Oh, that's a little down. They're all right there, yeah.
Mary's little lamb. Mary's little lamb. I didn't mean a Bill Ernst, I didn't.
Oh, well, what I'm burned up about is that you didn't say Bill had a swell girl.
Gee, it must be love. She'd have to be swell for you to like her.
You want something. Come on, what is it?
Well, it's my model airplane. It won't work. Gosh, Bill, you could fix it. You can fix anything.
Okay, I'll fix it.
Hey, Dad, read me 20 figures, will you?
Yeah, here we are. Oh, hello, Jimmy.
Mary told me to wait and tell her she had to go home. Her mother wanted her to go to the dressmaker with her.
Oh, thanks, Jimmy. Must be getting grown up. I see Mary let you have the car.
Yeah. Can I take you any place?
Well, I wasn't going any place in particular.
Well then, how about driving over to the Joe's place with me? I'll buy you a soda.
I never drink that stuff.
Well, gee, I'll buy you something else.
Okay, you're on the hook for 1 root beer.
Well.
Hi, Bill. Hi, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hello, Jimmy. Hello, Bill. Come on, slide in.
Hello, Blanche.
Hello, Ralph. How are you? Hello, Ralph. How have you been, Ralph? 2 sodas. No, I mean 1 soda and 1 root beer.
How
How's May?
Oh, she's fine. We're going up to her apartment a little later.
Couldn't Bill come along? Well, Bill, come along. Bill, you'll get a kick out of it. Thanks just the same.
Oh, come on, Bill. Mary won't be jealous.
Well, sure, I know the kids will be there. It's Keen. Well, I don't know. I really shouldn't have. Well, okay. Hi, Dad. Hello, Jack. What do you say? Yeah, come on in.
Come on, Bill. Don't stand there. I'm Meg. This is Bill Harper. He's okay.
Hello.
Well, if you say so. It's all right with me. I'll be back in a minute. Hiya, kids. How you doing? There's a new one in today.
Yeah, Bill Harper. He's all right. Mine just got herself about $1 for him.
Not bad. I didn't think you had that much taste.
She knows what she's doing. She's got Ralph nuts about her, and now she's got her hooks up with this new kid.
Say, we haven't any more smoke. You better run over and get some.
Why couldn't you find that out when I was here this morning? Now I've got my car in the shop.
Well, what of it? That kid out there, Jimmy, he's got a car. He'll take you. Come on, get going. Hurry up.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah?
I've got to run over to Cedar Avenue for a minute. You've got a car, haven't you?
Well, yeah, my sister.
Mind giving me a lift?
Why, sure. Come on.
Okay.
No, thank you. Well, here we are. Oh, thanks.
Oh, May, don't forget me.
I never forget you. Oh, here. If you want a good smoke, try one of these. I thought you were a sport. Of course, if you're afraid. That's better. That's more like it. I know you like that. Really, you will. Now, just take a puff of that.
Just be a minute, kid.
Hey, Jack, give me a cigarette before you go, will you?
Hello, Jack.
Hi, boss.
How's business?
Getting better every day. Those kids sure go for it.
Swell.
Had to run over for a couple more cartons. Ran short today.
All right. Yanni, pack 10 gross for Jack Perry. Who? Pete Daly. All right, send him in. It's all right, stay where you are.
I want to talk to you.
All right, go ahead. Jack's okay. What's the beef?
Listen, you never heard no beef when I had to sell that rotten gin.
You're after the dough, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't need dough that bad. Taking two-bit pieces from kids.
They're
There are millions of two-bit pieces just begging to be taken. Don't be a dope. I'm just dope enough to draw the line selling hop to kids.
All right, Pete. You know what my policy has always been. If the boys are not satisfied, I'm always glad to have them retire. Retire permanently. So long.
I only wish you had a couple of kids so I could...
Get out!
All right, Jack, pick up your stuff from Daddy. I'll be ready by now.
Okay, boss.
Let's go, Jack. I'm red hot.
Better be careful how you drive, or the first thing you know, you'll be ice cold. Take it easy, kid. Slow down, you'll kill somebody.
Well, hello, boy. Now, what do you say?
Let's make with the popcorn right away.
Too much trouble and bother, yes, indeed.
No, man, heat's all you need.
You need more than heat, boy. According to Hoyle, you need popcorn, salt, butter, and oil. And a frying pan ought to be completely proper. You ought to have a popper.
I dig it, you ain't a hip, old man. It's an easy pop in its own
You
pan.
mean easy pop in its own pan?
Now you're swinging, Daddy. Crazy man. Why don't you make it with me to the grocery shop? We'll both take a pan of this easy pop. The pop do the apple do the apple do the art. Now, give it the heat back. That's the wildest. Easy pop's too much, the neatest, the mildest. We'll all have a gallon in just about a minute. Popcorn, salt, and oil, and everything in it.
What do you know? No muss, no fuss. There's easy pop popcorn for all of us.
Easy pop, man, that's real popcorn.
With one hit of the reefer, he hits that man with his car. That is madness, specifically Reefer Madness. Oh, this is not good for you, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, you've let me down. But then again, the times were different. Why, we just saw an ad for popcorn that openly calls itself Poppers. So, you know, that's a thing. If you're young and watching this, which I hope you are because it's good lessons to stay away from drugs, your parents can explain what poppers are and why you shouldn't do them and the problems that they had when they did them. So, this is not going well. And Bill, get out of that party, Bill. That cigarette she handed you, it will scare you half to death. Open up the window, Bill. Catch your breath. Your mother told you not to go. Mother told you not to go. She said that's not the way to have phone. Woo!
Mary, you're not eating your breakfast again.
Bill Harper hasn't been around lately. Anything wrong between you two? Why should there be anything wrong?
There shouldn't be, I'm sure. And whatever it is isn't serious, I know.
I'm sorry, Mother, for snapping at you like that.
Don't worry about it, dear. Why don't you speak frankly to Bill? He'll be honest whatever the trouble is. I'm sure Bill Harper never lied about anything.
Yes, that's right. Bill's mother says he never lies.
There, you see?
You think it'd be all right if I speak to him about it?
Why, of course.
Oh, Jimmy. Sit down, darling, and I'll have your breakfast for you in a moment. Jimmy, there's something worrying you.
What have I got to worry about?
Why don't you tell me?
Well, for Pete's sake, don't start to cross-examine me, will you? I'm all right.
Jimmy! Don't let Mother see you like that.
There is no doubt that there is an organized gang distributing the narcotic to students, not only in my school, but all over the city. You government men have got to find some way to put an end to it.
Of course, I agree with you, Dr. Carroll. But do you realize that marijuana is not like other forms of dope? You see, it grows wild in almost every state in the Union. Therefore, there is practically no interstate commerce in the drug. As a result, the government's hands are tied. And frankly, the only sure cure is a widespread campaign in education.
Oh, it's all right to talk about education, Mr. Wyatt, but we educators can't do anything until the public is sufficiently aroused.
Let me show you something. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets. All these devoted to marijuana records. Here is an example. A 16-year-old lad apprehended in the act of staging a holdup. 16 years old and a marijuana addict. Here is a most tragic case.
Yes, I remember. Just a young boy. Under the influence of the drug, he killed his entire family with an axe.
Then there is the most vicious type of case. Here, in Michigan, a young girl, 17 years old, a reefer smoker, taken in a raid in the company with 5 young men. Here is a particularly flagrant case.
Yes, I remember. The newspapers made quite a play of it. In West Virginia, wasn't it?
Yes, and there are hundreds of them coming up, new ones every day.
I'd like to take these records, if I may. I feel they would be of invaluable assistance to me in combating the evil in my school.
You're very welcome, Dr. Carroll.
Thank you. Sit down, Bill. There seems to be something wrong. What is it? You were always a fine student. You always had excellent grades.
Well, I guess the work is getting a little harder, Dr. Carroll.
No, it isn't that. Bill, I'd like to help you, but of course I can't unless you let me. You're undermining your health.
Well, there's nothing, Carroll, really there isn't. I'll study harder, honest.
Honest? If you were being honest with me and honest with yourself, I'm afraid you'd tell me an entirely different story. Bill, I'm going to ask you a straightforward question, and I'd like to have a straightforward answer.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that you have, perhaps unwillingly, acquired a certain harmful habit through association with certain undesirable people? Well?
Oh, no, sir, I haven't, Dr. Carroll. Well, that is, you see, I'm worried about something at home.
All right, my boy. We'll just have to let it go at that. But remember, if you ever want to confide in me, no one will ever be the wiser.
Well, thank you, Dr. Carroll.
Hello, Mary. You want to play a set?
Thanks, Teddy, but I'm waiting for someone.
Well, if you're waiting for Bill, he hasn't been here for weeks.
Didn't take that new kid long to catch on.
Don't take any of them long. Say, don't you ever get sad?
You're feeding can't you see? Give me a knife and a fork, will you?
Get it yourself.
Good morning, miss. We're from the police department.
Good morning.
We're tracing a hit-and-run driver. Someone caught the license number at the place of the accident but didn't get it quite right. So we're checking all numbers like it, and yours is one of them.
Well, I'll try to help you.
Do you remember what you did on the 29th of last month?
Oh, that was the day before Mother's birthday. Oh, yes, I remember that because I left school and went directly to the dressmaker's with Mother. I was there all afternoon.
Did you happen to loan your car to a couple of men?
No, I had the car all afternoon myself.
Well, thanks, miss. Sorry to have troubled you.
Tell me, was the person killed?
Unfortunately, he wasn't, but that's still no excuse for hit-and-run driving.
Has Jimmy Lane been here today?
He was in. He went over to May's place. You know what that is.
Well, he was going to wait for me here, so he didn't give me May's address. Are you sure Jimmy didn't leave any message for me? Mary?
No, he didn't. But I guess you're okay. I'll write it down for you.
Grenache Rosé, a fresh, bright pink wine, a party wine, a picnic wine, a beautiful dinner wine. Try Gallo Grenache Rosé, chilled or over ice, and discover just how refreshing wine can be.
Okay, just to clarify, I may have misheard. Did that police officer say, where she's like, did anybody get killed? He said, unfortunately, he wasn't? Did I hear that? Like, no, he lived, sad for him. Too bad now he has the memory of being hit by a car. He should have died, according to the police officer. Now that is terror. Judging by these parties and my limited knowledge with what I know of different pharmaceuticals, marijuana, when consumed in great amounts, becomes a cross between cocaine and ecstasy. full admission, never tried either of the latter two and barely tried the first one, so maybe I just don't know how far things went or will go. But if I'd have known this is the truth. Here we are, Seattle, Washington, where things are legal, where we're like, oh, it's not so bad. There's just some nice independent shops that you can go to with their good stuff, and then there's also bigger shops that run across town and get angry when they start going into the landowning business at their tenants, you know, it's all that stuff. But we think it's innocent. This movie proves otherwise. I can only watch more to learn. I'm no longer Baron von Terror. I am Baron von Education. Woo!
Mary, come right in.
Is Jimmy here?
Oh, why, he's around somewhere. I think he went out to take Agnes home, but he'll be right back. Come in and sit down, Mary. Let me take your coat.
Who's the new kid just came in?
Oh, it's that gal that Ralph's gone overboard for. It's funny, we've never been able to get her up here before. Hey, scram, will you? Smoke, Mary?
Thanks. Are you sure Jimmy will be back soon?
Sure, any minute. Jack, is she all right?
She's dead.
May, get me some water. Now listen, you two. Why don't you get out of here? Get out of here and forget you're ever in here today. I'll handle this. Now get going. Give it to me. Here.
Harry. Mary. Mary! What happened?
You killed her. Look, after I scram, you call the cops. And this is your story. Remember it. These two kids came up here for a couple of beers. You were out in the kitchen, you heard the shots. When you got in here, that's what you found. Just stick to that story.
Mary! Mary, speak to me. Mary!
I was just talking to a friend of mine, a cop, sergeant on the homicide squad. Guy you hit that day died.
Died? You didn't...
No. I didn't crack, and I'm not going to. Nobody will ever know you were driving that car.
Well, thanks, Jack.
Just as long as you keep your mouth shut that you were ever up in May's apartment.
Why, sure, Jack, sure.
Okay.
Sweeter girls have something. Concentration. Sweeter, the concentrated, no-calorie sweetener in the little bottle. Just 2 drops are the same as 1 teaspoon of sugar, but without the calories. Sweet is as sweet-tasting as sugar, the best tasting of all leading artificial sweeteners. And you don't need 6 or 8 or 10 drops. Just 2 drops of sweeter are all it takes. At that rate, a little sweeter goes a long way. In fact, there's enough sweetening power in 1 little bottle of sweeter to sweeten 380 cups of coffee. About 100 more than the sweeteners in the big bottles. Sweeter girls have something all right. Sweeter, also in tablet or granule form.
So that got intense. Oh, wow. Things really went sideways there, which is ironic because the movie Sideways is not intense. But this film, oh, wow. And now I come to think of it, the commercials that they put in this film. Sweeter, clearly an addictive property. The popcorn even was poppers. Gallo, a wine named after a Gallo, part of California? all of these things, I'm starting to think that 1938 was a very problematic year. Oh. Well, what is going to happen? Obviously, Bill didn't kill Jimmy's sister. Jimmy will have to hide the truth, but doing so will mean his sister doesn't get justice. All of this is way so. Oh, I can only imagine things will work out, though. It's 1938. Everything is fine, right? Yeah. Woo.
Your Honor, I'd like to recall Dr. Alfred Carroll to the stand.
Call Dr. Alfred Carroll to the stand.
Dr. Carroll, as principal of the Lakeside High School, did you, during the last 3 months, notice any changes in the demeanor and attitude of your student, William Hopper?
Yes, in a number of things. For example, at times disassociation of ideas. In another instance, I happened to attend the recent interscholastic tennis matches, and while Bill Hopper had been considered an exceedingly good player, I saw him miss the ball by as much as 3 or 4 feet. This, I understand, could be attributed to the use of marijuana. It causes errors in time and space.
Objection, Your Honor. The witness has been qualified to express opinions upon the effects of narcotics.
Sustained.
Dr. Carroll has been called merely as a character witness. Well, then, although you didn't know to your own knowledge that the defendant was using marijuana, did you notice any changes that would lead you to believe, as an educator, that he was under some severe mental strain, which might possibly have been induced by some drug?
Yes, I recall distinctly a few weeks ago. It was during a class of English literature. There was a serious discussion of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, when he suddenly burst into an uncontrollable fit of hysterical laughter.
Well, by the way, Dr. Carroll, 6 months ago, what would have been your opinion regarding the character of my client?
He was a fine, upstanding American boy, a good scholar, a good athlete, and representative of the caliber of young men we are proud to graduate from our school.
Oh, snap out of it, will you? It's not our fault. Why'd I ever bring him up there anyway? He's just a kid. We can't hang him.
Shut up, shut up!
Why don't you let yourself go? Talk. Go off your nut and have me that way, too. It was his own fault, wasn't it?
Shut up! They've got us hidden now, haven't they? The cops can't find us.
Jack, I want to get out of this place.
You're going to stay here as long as we have to keep those two out there undercover. Until the trial's over. And the boss gets a better idea.
But they're getting on my nerves.
It can't last much longer. I'm not worried about her. We got to keep him gagged.
Oh, he's about ready to crack.
All you got to do is keep him from having too many reefers.
Any day now, that punk will get hot. He'll probably spill and tell all he knows if he gets the chance.
I don't think you'll get it. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
I'm going to see the boss.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, boss. What are we going to do about that Wiley guy?
Still jittery, huh?
I don't know what the punk's going to do.
Keep feeding him those hot sticks.
That's what May's been doing. But that's no good. I got a hunch that he's due to crack when that Harper verdict comes in. If he's on the tee, he's liable to take a powder on us and blow his topper to the DA.
You mean you think we'd all be better off if he never heard the verdict?
What are you waiting for? You, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have a duty to perform. A duty to yourselves and to our community. Mary Lane is dead. The evidence you've heard at this trial could not have failed to convince you of the guilt of the defendant. By his own admission, he pressed the trigger of the weapon that sent lovely and innocent Mary Lane to a tragic and untimely death. We are not so much concerned about the motives behind the deed as to the deed itself. While the defendant has told you that he saw someone attacking Mary Lane, and that his mind went blank from that moment on, the defense has been unable to produce one witness to substantiate that statement. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard able men testify at this trial, men who have tried to bring out the fact that the defendant might have become momentarily insane when he fired the shot that killed Mary Lane. But the defense has been unable to prove that he was insane. William Harper was sane when he visited the apartment where the tragedy occurred. He was in the habit of visiting the place. He was sane when he went into a bedroom with another young woman. You've all heard what went on in that room. You heard it from the defendant's own lips. Involved as he was in a tawdry love affair, Mary Lane was in the way. She had found him out. In a moment of anger, he deliberately and willfully killed her. If such deeds are permitted to go unpunished, this community would cease to be a decent and safe place for us or our children to live. I do not believe I have to plead or even demand that you bring in a verdict to punish the defendant for the crime that he has committed against society. You are upright citizens. That is why you were chosen to judge another. And as honest, upright citizens, there is only one verdict which you can find, and that is a verdict of guilty.
And this court will be adjourned until the jury's verdict is reached.
I suppose you all feel the same about this case.
But he might have been insane when he did it.
No, he wasn't. He knew what he was doing.
But supposing he was insane?
You can never make me believe it, nor anybody else. We'll take a first vote. $11 for conviction, 1 for acquittal.
But there's a reasonable doubt about the boy's sanity. We can't.
No doubt about the fact that he murdered her. He admitted it himself. That wasn't the first time he was there. We gotta make an example before boys like that contaminate all of our children. We can't have every murderer hiding behind the gag that he's insane. Sure, they see red before they kill somebody. But whose fault is it? Have you reached a verdict? We have.
The defendant will rise.
What is your verdict? We find the defendant guilty as charged.
Give me the creeps.
May!
What do you want?
Bring me some reefers.
They're going to hang him.
Blanche, they're going to hang him.
Oh, come on. Get a hold of yourself. Here you are. Now quit that crazy laughing.
Where's Jack? I want to get out of here.
They'll pick you up and hang you if you don't pipe down.
I want to see Jack. Jack. I want to see Jack. Jack.
You'd better quiet him. I can't do anything with him.
I've got to see Jack. We can't let that kid hang.
He'll be here. Don't worry. He'll be here in a little while.
I've got to see him. I've got to see him.
Come on, darling. Everything will be over soon. Do you want me to play something for you?
Yeah, that's it. Play something.
All right. Come on. Come on. Honey, give me a smoke, will you?
Master. Master. Play Master. Play Master. Master. I know what you want. You want to kill me.
You're crazy. Take it easy, kid. I just want to talk to you.
Hurry. There's a terrible fight going on. Yes. Apartment 32.
It must be sweeter granules, because liquids don't shake like that.
New Sweeter granules in snappy shaker packs, because you don't want calories, but you do want something white and crystally and sweet, like sugar. Something you can see and shake. Shake it here. Shake it there. Shake it anywhere you'd ever shake sugar. Shake it where you'd never shake liquids or tablets, because they don't shake. New Sweeter granules in snappy shaker packs. Less than 1 calorie per pack, always in good taste. It must be Sweeter granules because liquids don't shake like that. New Sweeter granules in snappy shaker packs. Come in a box of 50. From Squibb.
Before we unpack the movie, which there's a little more of, let's talk about what we just saw there. Did someone just put a little bit of sweeter on the bottom half of a lime and just start, and that lime was very dried out, and then the next person had a bowl of apples and potpourri. Times were different. But look, this film, now we see the police have come and taken the culprits. But the paranoia that Ralph was feeling was true. Jack was coming to kill him, meaning marijuana gave him psychic abilities. Also, it made May a much better piano player. Is marijuana coming back around to the positive in this film? Is that what we are seeing? I guess the conclusion will let us know. Oh, there's a lot going on, and I'm a little intense. I think I could use maybe a bottom half of a dried lime and some white crystals, or maybe just straight off the finger. Something to distract me from all of these drugs. Woo.
Who's behind you?
No, no, no!
Go hang if you don't talk. Who hired you and Jack, Harry? Are you ready to tell what you know?
Yes!
If we can gain some measure of leniency for my client, she is prepared to enter a plea of guilty and, in addition, turn state's evidence in the case of William Harper.
I regret that this court is not prepared to bargain with justice.
I'll tell you, I was there. I saw it. I know who killed Mary, and I'll tell you who killed Mary Lane. It wasn't Bill. It was Jack. Jack Perry. He shot Mary, and then he put the gun in Bill's hand. We were all at the apartment one afternoon, and Mary came in looking for her brother. Bill and I, we'd been in another room. And Bill came in, he caught Ralph with Mary, and they started to fight. But it was Jack who had the gun. He was going to hit Bill over the head with it to make him stop. And then the gun went off. I saw it. I can see it now. It was horrible. And before he knew it, Mary was dead. But you see, Judge, Bill didn't know he hadn't killed Mary. He was so doped up, they made him think he had. Ralph wanted to tell you, too. Oh, if they'd only let him. But this is the truth, Judge. I'm telling you the truth. After Jack saw the poor lady was dead, he put the gun in Bill's hand. It was Jack's fault. And it was my fault, too. I got all of them to come up to the apartment.
wish to plead guilty to a charge of fostering moral delinquency in the case of William Harper?
Yes, I'm guilty. I am.
Prepare a statement for signature. And also an order setting aside the jury's verdict in the case of the people versus William Harper. In the interests of justice, I shall direct a verdict of not guilty. Sign here, please. You shall be brought into court on Thursday, the 17th, when sentence will be pronounced. Meanwhile, you will be held as a material witness in the case of the people versus Ralph Wiley. Before this court today to what I hope will be the final actions revolving about an unhappy and unfortunate case, one whose horrible tragedy will forever remain with me. I am happy to have been enabled, before it was too late, to order the verdict of the jury in the case of the people versus William Harper to be set aside. But, young man, although this court is convinced that to declare you guilty would have been a gross miscarriage of justice, we cannot condone your acts. And we can express only the hope that your experiences may not alone keep you, but thousands of others from the vicious pitfalls of marijuana. Thus I am ordering you to remain in this court during the next case, so that you will be obliged to witness what you yourself so narrowly escaped. Call the case of the people versus Ralph Wiley.
Bill. Bill.
In this case, the state waives trial of the defendant, Ralph Wiley. It is convinced that he is hopelessly and incurably insane, a condition caused by the drug marijuana to which he was addicted. It is recommended, Your Honor, that the defendant be placed in an institution for the criminally insane for the rest of his natural life. Defendant's counsel joins the state in this request.
Since counsel for the defense, as well as counsel for the state, seem to agree on this, I see no reason why the request should not be granted.
Yes, that happened right here, to your neighbors. It is not too much to say that in your hands lies the possibility of averting other tragedies like it. We must work untiringly so that our children are obliged to learn the truth, because it is only through knowledge that we can safely protect them. Failing this, the next tragedy may be that of your daughter, or your son, or yours, or yours. or yours?
He pointed right at me. It could be my children. Oh, wow. This is a problem. Clearly, there are terrors out there in the real world that I am not prepared for. Given my name, you'd think, but no. Well, I will be very wary in the future. Thank you, Reefer Madness, a.k.a. what, doped youth or something at the beginning, a.k.a. tell your children, has had many names over time. Why, it's public domain. They made oopsies, probably because they were on the devil's weed. Ah, that makes so much sense. Okay. Of course, then it goes on to become a musical, and then the musical gets a Showtime movie with Steven Weber from Wings, and Kristen Bell from Veronica Mars and The Good Place. But we know the truth. There is no happy musical ending here. No, instead, there's a slightly happy court ending, and then Ralph goes to jail forever. He wasn't a good guy. Let's be honest. This is the most terrifying film we have shown yet, because the terrors are very real. Well, who knows what we will show next? From the depths of public domain we shall dig, and we shall find more to bring to the screen, so that you will know the horrors, the terrors, and the warnings of the world. Until then, this is Bear in Von Terror, saying I really should probably go talk to my 2.5-year-old about what I just saw. Never too early, right? Okay. Goodbye. Woo!
Hey, you want to drive, huh? Rev it up.
Action you've never seen races across your screen as you thrill to a new dimension in picture making. Carnival of Souls. This is the shocking story of a who crawled from the river to race through a nightmare, walking a tightrope between heaven and hell. From the unreal, she crashes through to reality. But try as she will to lead a normal life, she is torn from her goal. There's no privacy in a life she's ever watched, tormented. Either it's her neighbor, desirous of her physically, watching her with his leering eye, or it's the evil eye of the man who taunts her, the man who wants her. From the bottom of the river they come. They reach for her. They demand that she dance with them at the Carnival of Souls. She is a girl driven mad by the relentless forces of the beyond. He will not relent as he comes for her again and again. She whirls between the real and the unreal, trying to cling to life.
I like being with you, really I do. I don't want to be alone tonight. I want to be near you.
Honey, you don't want to go in there all by yourself, do you?
But she must watch herself in death. She must dance at the Carnival of Souls held just for her. For they have come for her for the last time, claiming her as one of their own. Carnival of Souls arouses such emotion that the management has been forced to state positively no refunds. Carnival of Souls is the shocker of all time, guaranteed to sweep you into a new dimension of picture making. You can't afford to miss Carnival of Souls.
folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.